What are the political implications going forward of the BBI being declared by the Supreme Court unconstitutional on 2 counts instead of 7? What are the political implications? What does it mean going forward? Karibu sana to my show, where I simplify everything and give you a very clear picture of what it all means, especially concerning our general elections, which are only 129 days away. Yeah. Time flies so fast. We're only 129 days away from the general elections. I'm sure this show will bring a lot of clarity to those who have been seeking that clarity over an issue that can be very technical, an issue that lawyers can really complicate so that you start getting dizzy. You don't even understand what's going on. If you're looking for that clarity, karibu sana. I'm sure you're going to get it here. Now, just a quick aside. Please take time to take in the 2 very important clips at the end of the show. One is on dark secrets of the Kenyan presidency, which I've now dedicated to the memory of my recently departed dear wife, because I put that book together during a very difficult time in my life, and my wife made a difference that time, and therefore it's only right to dedicate this classic, some people call it classic, to her memory. So make sure you take in those 2 clips. Karibu sana, and already I'm very sure and confident you will enjoy. The ruling of the highest court in our land over the BBI is out, and we have seen the reactions. Deputy President William Samoei's team is happy. They're over the moon. Reggae is finally dead and buried. Don't give us another story. Reggae imekufa kukufa. Let's move on. They're happy. Supporters of Raila Odinga are of course disappointed. And they have many questions. I've even heard some of them saying, you mean that a deputy president amenunua Supreme Court? Kwani huyu mtu akona pesa namna gani? No, nothing like that. But that's what they feel. Let me start first of all by congratulating the Supreme Court of Kenya for rising to the occasion. Yesterday's judgment over the BBI is a judgment that will stand the test of time. And I can't avoid talking about my favorite Supreme Court judge, Justice Isaac Lenaola. I don't know if we have a sharper legal mind in the country called Kenya. This Supreme Court judge, much respect for him. I am so happy that it pleased Almighty God for this great son of Kenya to be born within the borders of Kenya. Just go back and read his judgment, yesterday, and you'll begin to understand. I think I also need to remind you, take you back a little. Please allow me to 2017 and the historic annulment of the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Justice Lenaola played a very key role. And if you're doubting, may I remind you that the 36 bloggers led by Dennis Oleitumbi decided to have a go at Justice Lenaola. Yeah, very unpatriotic, very unfair. But they singled him out, yeah, for harassment. I think you remember the incident, yeah, which was very unfortunate. But that tells you a lot. Of course, these guys had intelligence information. They knew the role Lenaola played, yeah, in the quashing of the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017. Yeah. And of course, the guy didn't do it with malice. Yeah. Very sharp legal mind. Yesterday, he was the only Supreme Court judge, yeah, to be able to identify the fact that the president did not directly promote the BBI. Yeah, and he explained why. Kudos. In my opinion, all Kenyans today should be celebrating our Supreme Court. Yeah. They have remained impartial. The judgment, the way it was presented, you could see these were totally independent minds. And the points they brought forward in their judgments, yeah, were anchored in our Constitution. You can't fault them. And anybody criticizing the Supreme Court judgment yesterday has a problem. Yeah, because they need to tell us why they're criticizing that judgment. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not celebrating the so-called death of the BBI. No. Yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute. First of all, let us celebrate our Supreme Court. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm looking beyond the present. Yeah, I'm sure many of you have forgotten. In case the 2022 presidential elections are rigged and somebody goes to court, watajua wajui. Because before you rig the 2022 elections, you need to know you have the Supreme Court to deal with. Very impartial, very independent, very sharp legal minds. Utajua haujui. That's why all sides of the political divide should be happy. Yeah? But let us immediately dive into the elephant in the room. Now, it is totally amazing how we all watched the same judgment being issued, and then how we got headlines that were very different from the judgment. Headlines like, BBI ya kunywa maji. That one was funny. BBI is dead. BBI has gone the way of the dodo. Now, in my opinion, that is not true. Yeah. I've worked in a newspaper early in my life, and I would appreciate and understand the reason, the urgency to sell your newspapers, yeah, with a very sensational headline. Yeah, because of course, if you write a headline, BBI declared unconstitutional, but ... that wouldn't sell. Yeah, you need to excite people in order to sell your newspapers. I appreciate that. But the truth is, BBI has been given a through pass. That's my opinion. Put simply, what I mean is this. It means that if the BBI process is restarted tomorrow, it will be very difficult, impossible, for somebody once again to go to court and stop it. Because the BBI has been given a very clear roadmap. Pita hapa, ukifika hapa, piga kona hapa, enda straight, ingia hapa, utafika. That's what happened yesterday. Yeah? And we all know, at least I believe most of us, with our ears on the ground, know that the BBI is going to be relaunched very, very soon. And those who don't know should consider the fact that the handshake brothers in their deal, that deal is anchored, that deal is based on the BBI. The only way their deal can go forward and work like a well-oiled machine is with the BBI. Therefore, the BBI is very much alive and kicking. Now, I know a lot of us have been hearing the phrase, basic structure doctrine. Kizungu mingi hiyo. Kizungu mingi sana. Simply put, the two lower courts in our dear country had told us that you are not allowed to change the constitution. Maybe there should be a commission of inquiry to investigate how judges in their right mind can actually suggest that. And then they quote a case from India, one case. But the good news is that the Supreme Court has protected our constitution and said, no, you cannot put obstacles which are so high, which are almost impossible, implying that the spirit of the Constitution was that thou shalt not change this Constitution. Thou shalt not move a single full stop anywhere in this Constitution, ever. That's really what this basic structure doctrine is all about. It's really something very obvious. Yeah. But at least the Supreme Court made that very clear. Yeah, which means that tomorrow, Kumekucha Chris can launch an initiative to change the Constitution. Yeah. And nobody will put this obstacle in my path. But I'm well aware that most of us are bored with the technical legal details. So let us dive into the siasa right away. The very big beef I have here over this whole BBI manenos is that I believe it is a very sad thing that we Kenyans have been reduced to a situation where we do not critically analyze anything. What that means is that there's no difference between us, grown-ups, schooled people, and children in the kindergarten. Because young children will say, I don't like vegetables. Full stop. I like ice cream. Full stop. They'll not analyze. And if they hate something, they hate it. They don't even want to look at it. And if they like something, they like it. You'll not take them away from it. All emotional. As I, by the way, have made a very big effort to teach my children how to critically analyze everything in this life. I've gone out of my way. I recommend you do the same because it's very important. It's something that is lacking in Kenya. Let me illustrate it in this way so that we all understand very quickly. Bila kizungu mingi. Had somebody decided to sneak into the BBI the following clause, William Samoei Ruto will start the 2022 elections with already a 20% advantage in votes to compensate him for all that he has gone through with the system. Had you put such a line, which would have given Deputy President William Samoei Ruto a huge advantage, do you think the Deputy President's camp would have supported it? No! No way! The BBI was bad! Full stop. The BBI was bad, period. We don't want to hear about it. BBI... Chetanio. Apana, apana. And if you ask them what was wrong with the BBI, they would all chorus back. It is unconstitutional. No critical thinking. And amongst the people shouting loudest were our brothers and sisters, some of our brothers and sisters in Central Province. And within the BBI, there was the doctrine and principle of one man, 1 shilling, concerning the sharing of resources in the country. Because the complaint of Central Province, the previous Central Province, has been that a lot of taxes are collected within Central Province. But then at the end of the day, those taxes are redistributed. The money that is given to counties and even the CDF, it is redistributed county to county, without considering the population of a particular county. So that a county that is very, very sparsely populated, maybe somewhere in the northeastern province, Mandera, and so on, gets exactly the same, or rather resources that are almost the same, there's very little difference, with Central Province, Kiambu, and other counties within the Mount Kenya region that have huge populations and therefore collected humongous amounts of tax, which is unfair. So the BBI corrected that. But people didn't want to analyze that. BBI is bad. And of course, all this hatred for BBI is triggered by the hatred for the promoters of the BBI, Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta. Period. There's no critical thinking there. You oppose and then you think later. Utafikiria hapo mbele. This reminds me of the kind of debate you're bound to hear in a rural area, deep in a rural area, somewhere in Kenya. Now, don't get me wrong. I have utmost respect for Kenyans who have never had the opportunity to be exposed. Kenyans who are not educated. Kenyans who have not had the opportunities and the chance to grow mentally. It's not their fault. I'm just giving you an example. I'm trying to illustrate how educated Kenyans have sunk so low. Now people in the rural areas, you'll hear them saying the following. Uliona jana vile Ruto alipiga hao watu Azimio. Alisema nini? Alisema watu ni wezi bwana. Ruto alifanya vizuri sana. Alisema nini nyingine tena? Aliopiga na point karibu 3 hivi. Alisema kwamba hawajui mtu wa kawaida anapitia nini. Na alisema kwamba hawajui kutumia wheelbarrow. Na nimesahau ya 3. Those are the kind of arguments that go on. It's just about nani alipiga nani. And that is what the BBI debate was all about. Can you imagine that? The people who try to analyze it, present the advantages in it, and even the disadvantages, were drowned out. That's boring. Tunataka watu ambao wanapiga BBI. Hao ndio tunataka. It's very sad. The truth is, if you remove emotions from it, even if you're a Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta supporter, if you remove emotions from it and examine the proposals within the BBI, you will notice it would have changed Kenya for the better. That fact cannot be denied. And as I've already said, what the Supreme Court did was to interpret the Constitution. You see, this is the first time since the 2010 Constitution was passed that somebody is trying to amend it. It is unprecedented. And therefore the Supreme Court gave direction. It interpreted what the Constitution means, the spirit, etc., etc. So that next time, people will have a roadmap. The Supreme Court cannot rule twice over the same issue. No. What they ruled yesterday is now law. Everybody will have to follow that. And there's nowhere else you can challenge what the Supreme Court told us yesterday. That's really what it means. And so it is very easy for the BBI promoters now to pick up where they left off. This is really halftime. And the second half is very close, coming very quickly. Now, there was a prediction I made a long time ago, even before the ruling by the Court of Appeal over the BBI. And I said that if the BBI for any reason is killed, the person who will lose most politically will not be Raila, not Uhuru. It will be Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. And I said the reason was that the BBI gave the deputy president's campaign a very big boost. It lifted the deputy president's campaign and even his political profile. Because for the first time, you would say something positive that the deputy president has done for Kenya. He was protecting our constitution. Yeah, very strong point. This is something that could easily have carried the deputy president to great heights, maybe even winning the elections. And I predicted that as soon as BBI dies, or looks like it's dying, the narrative over the deputy president will change. Yeah, because people are not focusing on BBI. They'll start to focus on his character. Now, isn't that exactly precisely what has happened? Yeah? And now it is worse. I want you to imagine a scenario where yesterday the Supreme Court removed all obstacles and they ruled BBI is okay. It can go ahead. Do you know what kind of boost that would have given to the deputy president? Because it would have changed the narrative of the elections. Yeah, which, by the way, are only, wait for this one, 129 days away. Can you believe that? We're just 129 days away from Kivumbi 2022. What? Anyway, it would have given him a huge boost. But now, BBI is gone, or it's on halftime. It's out of the way. It now opens the door for closer scrutiny on the character of the deputy president, the man who wants to be our fifth president. And it removes a very valuable credential from his CV. This candidate has protected the Constitution. This candidate has a track record of trying to protect the Constitution. Yeah, but the system beat him to it. So let's vote for him. But of course now that particular credential has been deleted. Yeah. Efforts to protect the Constitution by this presidential candidate, zero. Efforts to fight for a better Kenya, credentials for this presidential candidate, zero. That's really what it is. Hate me or like me, that is a fact. And you cannot run away from facts. You may be able to temporarily throw insults at the person delivering the facts, make them look stupid, make them look confused, but sooner or later, those facts are going to catch up with you. Facts are very stubborn, my friend. You can't just get rid of them like that. They are very stubborn. And unfortunately, emotions got in the way and did not allow him to see the huge advantage, the mwanya, the space he would have used kupita katikati and to gain enormously. He couldn't see it. Yeah, because of blind rage, emotions, yeah, against some people. Very sad. And you know, politics is unforgiving. So let's see how this turns out. I humbly submit that I have a feeling I'll be proved 1000% correct. And my joy will not be in being proved correct. No. My joy will be in the fact that some people, no matter how few, will learn from this experience going forward. And that they'll be able to use this learning to better their lives and to better the opportunities that are in the horizon still to come. Which I hope and I pray will be for a better Kenya, not for selfish interests. You know, I had a lawyer yesterday analyzing and predicting the future, and he said, this means that BBI is completely dead. Why? Because if Ruto wins the elections, he will not want a prime minister. Therefore, BBI cannot come back. And even if Raila wins the presidency, he will not want a prime minister. And so he will not bring back the BBI. What kind of analysis is that? What? That is somebody who has no understanding of our politics and even what is going on at the moment. Let us not even talk about him not understanding the character of the man called Raila Amolo Odinga. Because I put it to you, if Raila wins the upcoming elections, the BBI will be back faster than you can say Allah. Mark my words. You know, it is very sad that many people don't even understand, and they're not interested in understanding, why Raila Odinga has always been so interested in a parliamentary system for Kenya. You know, it's a parliamentary system that has a prime minister. Of course, what is being proposed going forward is what they call a hybrid system. It mixes both a parliamentary system and, shall I just call it the American system, for simplification purposes. But that's really what it is. So, of course, this very learned lawyer of ours has no idea, no inkling of any of this. So sad. And you know, there are many people who listen to him carefully, and they'll take his word as gospel truth. Very sad. And many others will take his word as evidence to prove their emotions. Now, I want us to tackle something very sensitive that has been brought up by some analysts. And they're referring back to history. You see, in 2005, a constitution was defeated in a referendum. The Wako draft. The government lost because it was trying to force down the throats of Kenyans a new constitution that they preferred, they liked, one that they had doctored from the guy draft. Now, of course, Kenyans rejected it. Guided and led by Raila Odinga, they rejected that constitution. And it is said that after the 2005 referendum, political temperatures rose in Kenya to an all-time high. And this was quickly followed by the very unfortunate clashes 2 years later in 2007-2008. And so, in other words, the 2005 failed referendum was a catalyst, was a trigger to the 2007 clashes. And these analysts are saying that the 2022 defeat of the BBI may be a catalyst to similar troubles after our elections in August. Now, that's a serious issue. People have brought it up. Let's look at it. Now, it is true that the BBI debate has been very emotive. In my opinion, even more emotive than the 2005 draft constitution that went into a referendum. The Wako draft. The BBI is much more heated. The BBI politics was much more heated in comparison. That is true, according to me. And actually, the similarities are many, numerous. Because in 2005, the government lost. In 2022, the government has lost. That's a fact. Of course, in my opinion, temporarily, because the BBI will come back. So don't say I'm contradicting myself. But this is just for argument's sake. The government has lost, even if it's temporarily. Bottom line, kuna watu wako na uchungu kwa roho. Just like in 2005, there are people who are feeling bitter, looking for a way to hit out in revenge. That's what people are saying. In my opinion, that is not true. And that is the only place where there's a difference between 2005 and 2022. Because in this instance, the BBI does not really matter going to the election. Team Azimio are very well prepared for the general elections, with or without the BBI. Indeed, what they did, what President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga did, was to put the BBI temporarily out of their plans for the 2022 general elections. Indeed, even if the judgment had come back positive, giving the full green light to the BBI to proceed, it would not have made any difference. Why? Because there's no way you can have a referendum in the next 129 days. That's impossible. It'll have to be after the general elections. So it is inconsequential. That's the truth. And therefore it is highly unlikely that the BBI ruling will cause any trouble or will be the trigger for any trouble after the 2022 general elections. Because it's not important for now. It isn't. Everybody is laser focused on the upcoming general elections. BBI is just by the way. Okay, the government has lost. So what? Let's focus on the elections. Mambo ya BBI tutafikiria after the elections. That is the view of a vast majority of Kenyans. That is the reality on the ground. And therefore, in my opinion, it is not correct to compare 2005 to our current BBI situation in 2022. It isn't. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha. Out of all the political books I've ever written, and there are quite a number, Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency stands out as an amazing bestseller. Yeah. And also many consider it a classic because it takes a look at the office of the Presidency of the Republic of Kenya like nobody else has ever done before, or even to date. And many of those who have taken in this amazing ebook say that they just couldn't stop reading through. Yeah. They just couldn't put it down. Maybe that has a lot to do with some of the mind-boggling information contained in this book. Did you know, for example, that Jomo Kenyatta once confessed in public that he would never, ever touch alcohol again? Many people don't know that, and they don't even know the circumstances. But many of us know that the first president of Kenya during his presidency enjoyed the occasional stiff drink, when his health allowed, despite the earlier firm promise he had made in public earlier in his life. And don't even mention the scene painted very clearly in the book where a small boy, shivering because it was raining cats and dogs and carrying a 2-year-old baby on his back, arrived at the home of his grandfather, who made some predictions that dominated his life, frustrated him for the rest of his life, until that prediction came true. Or maybe it is because of the picture painted of Daniel Arap Moi, especially during his first cabinet meeting, where it was difficult for him even to look up. And even the other cabinet ministers, some of them who had been harassing him for years, could not look at him straight in the eye. There was so much tension at that cabinet meeting, captured perfectly, accurately in Dark Secrets. It is totally amazing. And there's much more, right up to the Kibaki presidency. Now I have some amazing news for you. This book is available in video format. That is, you don't even have to read it. Many people hate to read. They don't have the time to read. You can take it in as a video. You can take it in as an audiobook. Yeah. Listen to it right through. And I have an amazing offer for you today. Not only will I send you the ebook in PDF format, yeah, you can even print it out as a book and read it. Yeah. I will also send it to you in video format, yeah, so that you can listen to it right through or watch it right through. Amazing, isn't it? But there's more. If you take advantage of this very latest offer of mine, I will give you 6 months membership free to my weekly intelligence briefings. That means if you already have 6 months, I will add you another 6 months on top of what you have, so that you have a whole year to enjoy my weekly intelligence briefings. And by the way, I have quite a number of briefings, Jikoni, that I'm preparing, which I'll release in quick succession within the next few days. And those are weekly intelligence briefings you don't want to miss. So don't waste any time. For slightly above $10 for the little money, you can't even go into most restaurants with that kind of money, you'll be able to receive both the PDF format of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency and the video version. Yeah, so don't waste any time. You can see the details on your screens right now. Just send a blank email to that email address you see, and you'll receive full payment instructions on what to do. The same payment instructions are repeated in the description area below this video on YouTube. Go for it. This offer is only for a very limited time. Yeah, so take full advantage of it. And of course, in taking up this offer, you'll also be supporting the work I do on this channel. And if you believe this work is important, yeah, then you will be doing something very important in getting hold of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. Go for it right away. Asanteni sana for your time. This is your humble servant, Chris Kumekucha. When God gives you a gift, it is not for you. It is not for your family. It is for other people. You're supposed to use your gift to change the lives of other people. And for those who seek happiness in this life, nothing will make a human being happier. Trust me, nothing on this world will make a human being happier than the knowledge that they have changed one person's life forever. Yeah? Now, I've been very fortunate to have been very gifted by God. And not only gifted, but also trained in the renowned University of Hard Knocks. Yeah? The harsh university of this life. And I feel very privileged and very humbled, yeah, to get to know all the time that I've changed many people's lives forever. I even know a couple of people who no longer come to this channel, not because they hate me, but because they are busy these days. So busy that they hardly have time, but they've regained their dignity. They're putting food on the table. They're doing a lot of things, amazing things. And all thanks to some books I produced, which you can see on your screens right now, that changed their lives. Not only did they get that idea that changed everything, but they also got the skills to be able to sell without looking like they're selling. Because it's one thing to get a brilliant idea to make money, but it's quite another to do it practically and get people interested and get somebody to actually pay you real money for what it is you're offering. It is also one thing to have a business that is struggling, a business operating way below its true potential. That's one thing. And it's quite another to turn around that business so that it prospers. You have plenty of customers. My sincere hope in making this short clip is to influence and change the lives of many more Kenyans, because that is my mandate. That is what I was born to do. And I felt that this is the perfect time. Many people have been hit very hard by the COVID manenos. Life has become very difficult, almost unbearable for some. Some businesses that were making serious money before Corona are now struggling. Others have shut down completely. There is no better time for these two amazing titles have produced. 101 brilliant business ideas or money-making ideas that will thrive in the country called Kenya and well beyond, almost anywhere in the world. And how to get plenty of customers immediately, very quickly. For only $25, you can have both ebooks, life-changing ebooks. And for only $15, you can have only the ideas. Now you can see details on your screens right now. You will find full payment details in the description area below this video on YouTube. Go for it. I highly recommend it. And I have a suggestion. Maybe you're doing okay. I would suggest that you get it for a friend. You get the books for a friend, a relative, or somebody you know who is having it very difficult right now. It'll help them. It'll change their lives. And you'll have helped me to touch one more life, to change one more life, because that is my mission. Asante sana.